It would seem as though
it would seem as though we're back. Welcome back to the podcast, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time to the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing.
Mostly, again, nothing.
A lot of nothing. A lot of things that you're like scratching your head going,
What
the fuck are they talking about?
What?
Right. I'm Vesta.
I'm Annika.
And we are the crazy queer bitches who are on here every week talking to you about whatever the fuck we feel like. Right?
We're mildly offensive, but mostly fun.
Are we?
Which one?
Who do you think? Honestly, who do you think would find us offensive? Who? No, I mean really. Who do you think? Who's our demographic of who would find us offensive?
I don't think our demographic would find us offensive.
No.
No. But everyone outside of our demographic, I'm pretty sure would find most. I'm talking about burning down churches. Now I hate most of this country. Like, girl, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I suppose some people would have problems with
that. A devil, or the devil.
They wouldn't be wrong,
girl.
Well, it's interesting. Yesterday, I was talking to my friend Maria, who came over here to borrow a dress for a party. Hi, Maria. But we were talking about something interesting, too, because one of the things she was talking about is she was white people. And I told her, because she goes, now, don't take offense to this, but white people. And I was like, girl, I can't tell you how many times, at least once a day, I go, white people. Yeah. Because they're stupid. Anyway, and she was talking about how because she works dealing with the public over her phone and whatever, that it's hard for her to, she didn't use the term, but code switching all the time. Yeah. And I was like, well, one, you're a black woman. Two, you're a queer black woman who was raised by a drag queen. So you're also a drag queen. You're a queer black drag queen woman who, the example I gave is like, because, when you want to say, bitch, please, you say, excuse me, ma'am. Yeah. And so that would be challenging, I would think. So I know for us, talking about whatever the hell we talk about, there will be people who are going to be like, how dare they?
You already know. I mean, granted, no one sees us because we're hidden. It's just disembodied voices.
Right.
But like, even what you just said when Maria it felt like she needed to tell you, like, don't be offended, because like, I wonder how many people are offended when things like that are brought up, especially white queer people get very touchy on issues about,
white people are so touchy anyway.
Girl, right. But like,
that's why it's called white fragility, because they're so fragile. I read this thing the other day where one of the women I follow on the Ticking Talk, Queen Work, somebody sent her this thing. It's like, white people are the only ones who are fragile. And she's like, yeah, I never said they were. But... let's start with the fact that you're jumping on me about how, not just me, I'm not the only one. It's like, but you felt the need to say that.
Right.
Absolutely. So clearly your fragility is showing.
Girl. And I think that, because our topic today is mental health, right? And I do think that plays a very big role in it. I think about my own mental health, but then I think about how that would be compounded if I was othered further. Do you know what I mean? If I was a person of color and queer and differently abled and an immigrant, what I mean? All the things that would other you.
Yeah, roll them all into one. And,
right. And think about how mental health varies so dramatically. And that's the thing. If you're going through it, think about how somebody else is going through it who may face a couple more obstacles than you. Yeah. And just like every day, that's your everyday life, is just your mental health is.
Well, and I think, and I know we talked about this before, I think that for me, the whole reason I was late to the game in understanding white fragility and white privilege was because I thought, girl, as much shit as I've had to go through and it was like different. Because yes, I was othered for being fat and othered for being queer and othered for being poor, but it's like, you can't, only one of those can you just see by looking at you can see I'm fat. Right. But you can't go, oh, she's a poor fat girl.
But also, it's like, privilege isn't about what you have.
No, I know, but that was one of the things I didn't realize until my friend Kimberly is actually the one who explained that white privilege to me, because we were talking about it one day and she said, well, here's what that means. And she broke it down into really the simplest of terms, because sometimes, I need simple terms. And then I read books about it. I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And I do truly understand it. But speaking of queer things and other things, and here's my little good news in the queer community.
Okay.
A federal court has ordered that the Defense Department can no longer not promote people in the service because they're HIV positive.
Oh.
Because until, what is today? Today is the 13th?
Yeah.
I don't know. Until the 7th of April of this year, it was legal, or it was a standing practice.
Yeah.
If you were in the military, they didn't have to promote you, send you out on missions, do any of the things if you were HIV positive. So I'm just going to read this little tiny blurb because, well, it'll sound better than my rambling. In a landmark ruling, a federal court has ordered the Defense Department to end a long-standing Pentagon policy forbidding enlisted military service members from deploying in active duty outside the continental U.S. and being commissioned as officers if they have HIV. Supporters hailed it as overdue legal affirmation that people receiving effective antiretroviral treatment for HIV are essentially healthy and pose no risk to others. There was a Americans with Disability Act was passed just 32 years ago.
Yeah.
So really?
Yeah.
It took 32 years for them to go, okay, all right.
I also just that's one of those things, and I'm like, why is that even an issue? Like, I'm so confused by you have the HIV, I can't promote you. Like, I don't understand. You have an autoimmune disease, so you can't get promoted? Like, I don't...
yes, especially because now with the amazing medications that they have, so many people who are HIV positive are undetectable. And if you are undetectable, you cannot transmit the disease. And if you're getting your medications, it's not a problem. No. So I don't understand why this, but, military, government,
but also just mentality. Again, the last 4 to 5 years in this country, we have seen what this mentality could do to people.
Yes.
Do you have other news? Because
I do. I have 2 other things I want. Okay. The governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, has vetoed the trans athlete bill in Kentucky.
Okay.
Now, that being said, it'll probably still go through because the House and the Senate are mostly Republican in Kentucky. Shocking. So trash, right? So but he vetoed the bill and said, that they don't need that it just discriminates against transgender children seeking to participate in sports.
Right.
Why? Again, why somebody who...
But it makes you think, do the people on the other side actually care? Like, we care. Why do you want to other a child? They're a child. I know what it feels like to be a child and treated like shit. Like, why do you want to make
children
that way? Right. But then, do we think the conservatives and Republicans feel that way? They're like, well, you know what I mean? This is what you get for wanting to be what you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Is that very much the mentality? Do they feel bad because that's a child who's hurting? Or do they just feel like, well, you're queer, and this is wrong against my Jesus, or whatever.
I don't know. And it's like, my question is, why are you spending so much time thinking about what's in some child's pants? That just makes you gross.
Girl, right? And the fact that when we had this conversation on our other, a couple episodes ago about how they have to, check people's genitalia, who's the pervert here? You scared of trans women in bathrooms, but you're strip searching children to see what kind of genitalia they have? That sounds way more problematic to me.
It's disgusting.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. Well, and...
Let's talk about mental health there, girl.
Well, exactly. Because the people who are so concerned about trans children obviously have some issues that they need to look into. You're so afraid of these people even existing.
Oh, not your altar. Take it to church, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't take out your aggression on children.
No, it's disgusting. And, we were talking about the trans bill that was passed in Texas. Parents of trans children
can have their children.
Are now leaving Texas to fight so that they can fight for their own lives of their children, because if they help their children, then they can be arrested, they can have their children taken away. And what I hate that that's happening. I love that these parents are like, this child is more important to me than where I live. where I put my house, where I have my job. I don't care. I'm going to take care of my baby.
Yep.
And two families combined with two doctors are suing.
Good.
Because it's such bullshit.
It is bullshit.
So the only other thing that I wanted to bring up, because I want you to get out your pen, your paper, and write this down. Not you, you're right here. Well, the people listening. So if you're listening in your car, just make sure you've downloaded this episode, because you're going to want to do a little shopping.
If you're driving, do better and write and drive at the same time.
Don't do that. Or don't do that. Don't listen to her. No, but what I'm actually telling you to go shopping. I was reading this article today about the top 5 banned LGBTQIA plus books. So later today, I'm buying me 5 books because these are all on different banned book lists. I'm just going to give you the name. I don't know much about them. I don't care. The first one is called Beyond Magenta by Susan Kirkland.
Okay. Oh, Kirkland.
And it's a collective of transgender youth stories. Okay. And it's like their own stories told by them, but this woman compiled them, did the photographs, did all of that. Okay. Genderqueer by Maya, and I will probably mispronounce her name, so I'm just going to spell her last name is Kobabe, so Kababe.
Okay, yeah.
Is what my guess. All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Lawn Boy, which I think that's the only one on here that's a novel. I believe the rest of them are like biographical, by Jonathan Evison. And I love this title. This book is gay.
I love that.
It's so gay, by Juno Dawson.
This book is real gay.
This book is gay.
I love that.
So I want you to go to your local bookseller, get wherever you get your books, get them on audio, get them on hard copy, get them. Does anybody buy hard copies of books anymore?
Oh, I do. Girl, I love that.
Me too. I want something to hold on to.
I'll read on my phone if I have to, but I love having a book in my hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it. That's what I've got for queer news.
Love queer news.
For the queer corner.
Mine's not really queer news. It's just very funny. It happened to me and it's personal. But I'm going to tell you.
All right.
I'm going to tell all my closest friends about it. And it's, people already know, but it looks like that my pictures from Instagram were used to catfish people.
I saw that on the Facebook yesterday.
Yeah, so I got many people sending me pictures and the homepage for their profile, and it's my pictures, and it's all these things like, oh, you want to tune in to my OnlyFans and watch me live kind of shit, and pictures, and trying to get people to subscribe, but they're my pictures. She's using my pictures, and my username, she edited it slightly. It's my username with a underscore before it. But it's very funny, and people I haven't talked to in a very long time are like, girl, I don't think, is this you? If it's you, cool, but I think you got hacked. So I didn't get hacked, but somebody is snatching my shit and using it to sell.
And so what do you do about that?
Well, everyone I know has reported it. I've reported it, but I can't find it any longer. So because it's on Instagram. So if I go to Instagram and I look for it, I can't find this user any longer. But I just sent a message through my account to Instagram. I was like, there's this bitch happening. Here are pictures. Everyone's been messaging me about it. This isn't me, But if you tune in to their OnlyFans, girl, just know you ain't going to see me. Honey.
No.
But I was like, how dare you?
Well, and how does that, aren't they going to get to the page and be like, who this?
I know, exactly.
This is not the picture I saw.
Right.
Either that or she's just got a ton of your pictures. And since you don't tend to post on Instagram naked pictures, what you going to OnlyFans with that? I'm going to open a soda, so I'm going to make noise. There we go.
But I was talking to my spouse about it, and they were just like, how flattering, but also unsettling.
Weird.
It is. It's very invasive. It's very weird that someone's like, I'm going to take this bitch's pictures. I'm going to use it to sell sex.
Right. Well, at least they're good pictures.
Thank you so much.
At least they didn't take old pictures where you were looking not your best. Not that you tend to post those, but still.
One of my friends, Sabrina, said, I wish I was hot enough to be someone's catfish pictures.
They're like, ooh, this girl is hot. Then I just wonder what Trollina catfish looks like.
I know.
Because
where are you?
Right. And is she even a girl?
Mm-hmm. Girl, that's
because
not the case.
We know that happens. Catfish. I have watched Catfish. I have caught a catfish. No, that's not true. I've never gone fishing. So
anyway, that was my fun.
I know when I saw that. Well, because I saw that, and I saw that it said something about the page that it was on. Was it Fansy or
like Fansly or whatever? It's like some knockoff.
And I saw that first before I saw that somebody had. So I was like, well, girl, gotta make some money.